This is what you would see if it wasn't for the hard-working volunteers at Channel 10. But thanks to their great effort, this is what you get.
Hello and welcome once again to Capital Times. I'm Karen Agnew, and I just wanted to point this out before we really get into the show. Have you noticed how our set seems to be expanding and getting more beautified each show that you see? Well, that's because Michael Merrick is on the job here at Shaw Cable and doing a darn fine one, I must add. Now, with me today we have someone you've probably never met before. Kidding. Heather Hutchinson is with me, and she's going to tell us the next production that's happening with Oasis.
Right.
And we have a female artist coming in. Her name is Connie Kaldor.
That's right, Karen.
Oh my God.
And she's coming on a date that I know you're not ever going to forget. It's October the 17th. It just happens to be Election Day here in the province. So the very first thing I want to say to people is whatever else you do that day, vote. Your votes do count. But then as the polls close at 8 o'clock, the curtains are going to go up at the Capitol Theatre, and we're all going to see a very wonderful concert by Connie Kaldor.
Great way to relax after that day, yes.
Oh, it is. And besides which, like, all the returns, I mean, don't really start coming in till the concert's over.
Yes.
And I'll just mention this too, that I think that we'll be able to give at the intermission, keep people updated onto what's going on as far as the election goes.
Oh, that's terrific. Yeah. So they don't have to worry about missing out on any landslides or...
No, and they can forget all that boring stuff in between. They can just sit and watch Connie and Jay Knutsen, who's going to be accompanying her at this concert.
Oh, great.
So, yeah.
Good, you just answered one of my questions. So, is Connie going to be performing on her own?
No, she's not. She's going to have Jay Knutsen with her. He was formerly with Spirit of the West.
Oh, yes?
Which I know a lot of you out there are very familiar with that band. And anybody who was with that band is a great musician, and Jay is one of those great musicians and accompanists. He's known Connie for quite a long time. They get along just fine, thank you very much. Right? And she's going to be accompanied by him. It'll be a great concert.
So, sorry, my ignorance. He's playing the piano?
No, the guitar.
See? Duh.
See? Actually, Connie plays the piano.
Oh, yes?
And keyboards. And guitar sometimes, too.
Oh,
so
multi-talented.
Yes, she is. She's very multi-talented. She writes all her own songs and has been performing, I guess, since about 1979. She's no...
You almost said spring chicken, didn't you?
No, I don't.
She's not new to the business then.
No, she's not new to the business. She's performed in every major folk festival across Canada and the United States. She's performed in Europe. She did a standing ovation concert in Denmark where people just came from all over the Scandinavian countries to see her, to tremendous success. She is a Juno Award winner.
Oh?
Yeah, she is. And some of you may have seen her when she was here a couple of years ago. She gives a very personal kind of concert. She's very chatty. She'll tell you a little story around the song and maybe how that song got started and what goes on with it.
Is she playing the piano also? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we've got the piano going, guitar going.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that she's folksy. That's the flavor of her music then? So
yeah.
Would we say she's a folk singer? Or?
Let's just label her eclectic for a minute,
yes.
Okay? Because she is. I mean, she kind of started out on the folk circuit as one of the first sort of big female folk singer types from Canada here, but there's a little twinge of country and western in there. You might hear something like, oh, here it's all going to go. Oh,
you hate it when that happens, don't you?
I guess what I'm trying to describe here is that here is a very eclectic woman. You're going to hear a few different sounds from a very beautiful voice that goes from very low to very high.
We're not hearing the same song over and over and over again.
No, we're not. No, people around here, they know her, and she, ask anybody who's seen a Connie Kaldor concert, and she's really very good. She had a little hiatus after about 1989 because she had a baby.
Oh, lovely, yes.
And she's traveling with her little baby. He's 9 months old.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so she's gone through some changes, and I'm sure her music will reflect those changes, sort of type of thing. But no, she's a very warm performer.
Is she from Canada then? She's Canadian?
Yep, she's a Canadian.
Which neck of the woods is she coming from?
Well, I don't know directly, but she's a prairie girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Basically, she's a prairie girl, and yeah. So that's.
But she's done European tours now, and it sounds to me like she's done really well.
Oh, yes.
Over there.
Yeah, she's done really. Yeah, she's done really well.
Has she played in England? Because it sounds to me like that flavor of music would go really well.
Yeah, I'm just
over there. Yeah.
Taking it. I mean, she's Leeds English. The Leeds England Folk Festival and the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, for example. Right, she's played in Texas, and like I said, she's played all over the map basically, and she's getting more popular and getting a stronger following in Europe, just like Stephen Fearing and James Keelahan. Like there's more once again, this exchange of Canadian and European or English folk singers back and forth across the ocean, and she's definitely made that connection now too.
Great.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful experience to do all that traveling. It certainly would reflect on her music too, I bet.
Oh yeah.
And
nice person.
I must say that you've been doing extremely well with female artists over the past year or so. Probably over the past few years, shall we say. At the Farron concert, I mean, you could barely move. It was just jammed.
Right.
And is this a reflection on what the people in our area like to see, or is it because there's so much good talent out there?
Well, there's a lot of good talent. That's one thing, and we do deal with one particular agent.
Yes.
Who is has a lot of women that he promotes, that he's the agent for, and they're all very, very good. Yeah. And it just sort of, in one sense, it sort of seems to be what falls in our lap. I began to look at our concert series for the fall here, and we had Farron and Connie, and then we've got Lorena McKenna coming up, and I'm going, well, here's the all-female, concert series.
But they're different. They're each unique in what they do.
Oh yeah, very much so.
It's not the same style, just a different person each time.
No. And this is some lady standing up there, is probably, if you saw the Farron concert, not some lady standing up there with a guitar singing folk songs, boy.
Over and over and over and over.
No, it's not. These are, three uniquely different women with their uniquely different styles, and it's really, really wonderful.
And it seems to me that the majority of them really do enjoy interacting with the audience.
Oh, yeah.
And connecting in that way through their stories, anecdotes, that sort of thing.
Yeah. No, they are all performers. Connie started out actually as an actress.
Oh yes,
with Theatre Passe Muraille
in Toronto.
Yes,
I know it well. Really?
Yes, right. So that's how she started off, and but decided that she felt she was more a musician than she was an actress. She could probably not get, she didn't have to act, but she had to perform.
Yes.
Or she had to. Well, what can I?
She's probably got terrific stage presence.
She's got, yes, she does. I mean, right, acting is performing as music is.
Oh, sure.
Acting is performing as. It's all part of the same thing. No, she's a wonderful entertainer.
Oh, it sounds
just wonderful.
Good. Let's get some details then, so that these people can get some tickets and come and attend.
Sure.
I mean, before we even announced that your program was on, people have been phoning and coming down and saying, "Well, come on, let's have the tickets." So.
Well, yes, there are tickets available out there. They are $12 each. That includes the GST on this ticket.
Great.
Okay. And they are available at the Capitol Theatre, the Kootenay Weekly Express, Eddie Music, Oliver's. All these places are here in town in Nelson. And if you live out in Castlegar or that area, there are tickets available at Pete's TV. you can phone me and make a reservation and pick up tickets that night at the show.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
Okay,
Not unless we sell out.
You can do that at the Capitol too. We'll
Right.
take names and hold some tickets for you.
Right.
Depending on how many we've got, of course.
Right, yeah, okay.
But
great.
they do go quickly, yeah.
Yes, they will too for her. So it's October the 17th. It's 8 p.m. and it's at the Capitol Theatre.
I must say, we do invite you when you come to the Capitol to come prepared to have a good time. Don't feel that you're just going to walk in, sit down, see a show, and walk out and leave. People are finding now that they're enjoying themselves, mingling in our concession area. We do provide all kinds of different beverages, shall we say. So it's very much a fun thing to mingle. The Farron concert was great.
It was a great mingling experience.
Huge mingling, yeah.
Now, I just want to put 2 cents in here too,
Yes,
while
please.
we're at it. Just basically, people wondered why that show got started late, so that they mingled more.
It's okay. The mingling went down well at the concession.
And she figured that would be okay, but she forgot her guitar picks and had to go back and get them, and then she broke a string, and so that's sort of what caused that delay. We do try and start shows on time, so I'll just give you that hint, everybody.
Yeah.
And I think we have time. Can I mention one more thing?
Oh, please do. Are we thinking of this poster that's up here? Yes, please.
Right. There is a poster behind Karen called The Sacred Earth, and that will be our show coming up next on Sunday, November the 3rd. It's a slide presentation by Courtney Milne, who has just published a book called The Sacred Earth. This is the slideshow of that book. It's a beautiful, beautiful book, and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful slideshow.
Are we doing that at the Capitol? Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Oh, beautiful! And we've got the screen that just covers the whole entire stage space there, so it's like sitting in a movie theater, which is what the Capitol was to begin with. So it's quite suitable.
Yeah. So I think that'll be very good too.
Have you previewed any of it at all? Have you had a taste of what we're going to see on that?
Well, just mainly through the book.
Yep.
And listening to a Zosky interview and reading some other material, basically. But it sounds like it'll be a very interesting evening.
Great.
Yeah.
Sounds most intriguing. So keep that one in your little date books and come and see that also. Well, that's great, Heather. Thanks so much for joining us again.
Okay.
It's always fun.
Yes.
And we're going to take a short break here. The music that you're listening to in between the breaks for this show is Connie Kaldor, so that can give you a little taste of the kind of music that you'll be listening to on the 17th of October. Great. Okay, we'll be right back after this. Thank you. We are back, and for the second half of the show, I have somebody who's very familiar to you all, Margaret Stacey, who is the manager of the Capitol Theatre. Hi, Margaret.
Hi.
Long time no see.
You look familiar.
We have a few things that we want to talk to you about today. Margaret's going to tell us about what's happening tomorrow night at the Capitol Theatre. A very special comedian is coming in, Lorne Elliot, and maybe you could give us a few little insights to him.
Well, I've been writing about Lorne Elliot recently, and mostly what I like about this man is the fact that he's a biologist. And I don't know if you know anything about biologists, but they have this wild sense of humor. Not all of it clean, but all of it really intellectual, but crazy at the same time.
Yes.
And I think that's he speaks about Canadian experiences too. He's so Canadian. He talks about camping in Prince Edward Island, and he talks about building your own house. That's a BC experience, and renovating your house.
Oh yes.
And he talks about the shower and things like that are all very common to us. He doesn't do political attacks or anything like that. Well, maybe way underneath is a political attack. But he seems to be able to define the Canadian experience, which I just love. And he also looks absolutely wacky. I don't. Oh, I've got a picture of him.
Oh, let's show. Yeah.
Can we do a picture? Let's see how do we do this?
Oh, just hold it up.
Hold it up.
That camera should be able
My
to
head
grab
has
it.
changed. This
Lorne Elliot.
is Lorne Elliot. He says actually his hair is only 2 inches long, as his head is shaped that way.
I love it.
Anyway,
this guy's crazy, but he's not just telling us amusing stories and making us laugh ourselves silly. He's doing comedy music also, isn't he?
Yes, he does. He does his own songs here and there too. It's always sort of twanging a guitar. This isn't intended to be a great musician. It's just to accompany his his drums along.
Yeah.
He's doing so well in Canada right now. Apparently, he's the top Canadian comedian. He's rave reviews in Toronto, Montreal, the Arts Club in Vancouver, and we're really lucky to have him come.
We should mention this is one of these people that is really eccentric, and we were worried about the strikes that are happening in the airports and thinking, oh no, and then you remembered.
As an advantage to Lorne Elliot, he refuses to fly.
Absolutely.
Which brings me to that is the only problem with Lorne Elliot. His getting him here and contracting him was a very easy process.
Yes.
He does not fly.
No, but I guess his wife accompanies him, and they love the drive, so that's okay.
Oh yes, they just love moving all across Canada.
That's great. So that's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, and there are still some tickets available. You can phone or come on into the Capitol Theatre for that. Our phone number is 352-6363. Not that I've never said that before. So we're really looking forward to that. That's something that's exciting that's going to happen. Something that we really feel that you should fill the people out there in on is what's been happening with the Alberta Ballet.
Oh yes. One of the flagships of our Capitol Theatre season series was the Alberta Ballet. And we chose this ballet because they had an unusual program. There are lots of ballets out there, but this one was the Carmina Burana, and it's based on secular poems found in a Bavarian monastery in the 13th century. The music is alone enough to come and listen to. It's music by Carl Orff. It's not live, but the music is so powerful. It's a vocal presentation, and the dance works into it really well.
Yes.
Great crowd. There are 28 in this company. It's very hard to squeeze them all in on the Capitol stage, but we will do it. Now the problem with the Alberta Ballet was that their BC tour, for a number of reasons, is no longer happening, except in Nelson. We decided that we would, the ballet would have liked to continue their tour in the Atlantic regions and in Alberta, but especially because our society was very stubborn, they are going to come to Nelson on October the 27th. So if you've read or heard any other dates, completely disregard them. This is the final, the final date on the Alberta Ballet. They're also doing one other piece that, they're doing 4 pieces, but they're doing one piece that I also wanted in the program too. It's Ravel's Bolero.
Can you tell us a bit about Bolero? It's sort of a phrase that I've heard, you know, all through the years, and always related to something romantic.
Powerful Spanish dance.
Yes.
Yeah, classic. That's all. They're doing 2 other pieces which are unknown.
Yes. And
newly developed for the 25th anniversary of the Alberta Ballet, which is this year. One called Vertex, and another one called Liberté Tempérée. Those are ballet-type terms for my own composition.
Means nothing to me, but it's good. Yes.
Yes, they will be very good.
Now this is a fairly young dance company from what I gather.
No, 25 years old. That's older than most.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's done very good work.
Oh, I meant actually the performers themselves and the choreographer.
They have 4 choreographers. One is the choreographer for the Carmina Burana is Ali Pourfarak, who is in ballet circles is very eminent in Canada.
Yes.
But I'm not in the usual ballet circles, and I don't know if it would mean that much to us.
But it sounds like it's going to be a very special show. We should mention maybe just once more get it lodged there that first it was announced October 15th, and then we had a little tiny announcement that probably didn't get too far, but November 5th. Those dates are not correct.
Now it's Sunday evening, October the 27th.
Sunday's a good day for the ballet.
And is it going to be tricky for them too, because we've got Charlotte Diamond in the theatre that afternoon for the kids' concert. So I can see these mums and dads zinging their kids in for Charlotte Diamond, running home, changing, having dinner, going out to the Alberta Ballet. But because many of our season ticket holders are, you know, are also season ticket holders of the kids' concert series.
As it should be.
So Charlotte's going to be running across the Alberta Ballet, I think, at the end of her show.
That's going to be very busy.
Very, and it really involves the Capitol staff more than most things, because we need wardrobe people, our costume folks are coming out to help out, and our technicians, and we're going to have extra technicians for it. Oh, because we have 2 hours to put it up.
That's not a long time. No. So they will have practiced the night before or something at home.
I think they know this piece.
Yeah. So how will our wardrobe get involved with them on that?
Dancers have a lot of very large costumes that float around, and they need to be pressed, and they need to have dressers, because they move in and out of the production so fast that they need to have assistants backstage.
Oh, neat.
And dance requires more technically of the lighting, sound, and backstage people than any other form of production, including theater.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So what will we see then as far as lighting and the technical side goes? Will it be I don't know. I don't know much about lighting. Lighting,
well, you just have to ask Paul Picorni, who's been the theater technician. He loves lighting, dance work, because it requires backlighting and side lighting, which theater pieces don't require as much in other events. So that's his favorite thing to do. So he'll be on hand that night.
Very creative then.
Yeah.
And do they do like spotlights that will follow the dancers in specific areas?
Everything that a light can do will be done for dance.
Well, that's going to be a
really
great
exercises
show.
them.
Really, you're sweating by the time you finish that one. Well, that sounds like a really neat show. That'll be big, really big. And we do still have.
It's our first dance company.
Oh, is it?
Yes, that we've ever done. Also, Lorne Elliot's our very first comedian. So we thought we'd have a couple of firsts this year.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one on your series program, Leonard Cohen, Sincerely a Friend, which looks like it might be a first.
Scary.
As far as, slightly avant-garde, really neat.
It'll be like the Jacques Brel show that came through here several years ago, but based on Leonard Cohen's works.
Great. We're looking forward to it. I did sort of want to briefly touch on production and what it involves. There was an article recently in the Kootenai Express, I believe it was Heather Hutchinson's, and she was trying to inform the public and let the public know what the difficulties are and what it entails to actually present and produce a production of your own. There's positive and negative sides. What could we maybe give to our audience to sort of give them a little insight on what happens there?
Do you see these wrinkles? That's after a long week of negotiation. The wear and tear on the presenter, which is what you call somebody like me who brings in, or Heather who brings in a touring production. The promotion and putting the performers in hotels and all that sort of thing actually they come after you choosing. Choosing is the hard part. Choosing and negotiating, I think. And the rest of it is technical, but it's time consuming.
Yep.
But also sometimes we're slowed down by the fact, by strikes, by air difficulties, by snowstorms and blizzards. It's known to happen.
Especially where we are, yes.
Yes, sometimes power failures happen in the theater. I mean, anything can go wrong.
Murphy's Law?
Oh, Murphy's Law. Yeah, we've seemed to have seen the full gamut of difficulties.
Yes.
But overcome them with a little bit of that extra
push.
Yeah.
Well, I've been watching you this past week, and it's been pretty hairy, hasn't it? The phone calls back and forth.
The phone bills, yes. The phone bills.
Incredible. And I mean, sometimes even if there is a contract, that a company will just say, sorry. Well, what happens to you then?
It's very important to me and to the board of my society that we be honest presenters and straightforward. I don't produce anything without contracts. I don't even promote it or advertise it without contracts. And also we're known through Canada now as being a straight presenter. Presenting group, and people will approach us without fear and worry, or they don't ask us for deposits and down payments now or anything like that, because we've always been extremely cautious and careful and good to our performers when they come in.
Well, then it must really burn you.
Well,
when that happens, you know,
it's like being a hostess and a you know, a festival manager, or party organizer.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have experienced this thing in other activities. In Nelson, for example, you know, if you were political, you'd have to know how to do this stuff. If you were, you know, if you ran the Bonspiel, you'd have to know how to do this kind of thing too.
Right. It's
the same kind of production.
Is the public very forgiving on this sort of thing?
They are, if you know you really, they know you really tried.
Yes.
They seem to like a personal angle and everything, and I found that if I speak personally about performances or write personally about performances, they listen up perhaps better than if I take some canned information and do it as a press release.
Right.
And they want to know why we chose it. They really want to know.
Right.
Why did you choose this and bring it here? What has it got to say to us? What do you want to tell us?
That's pretty consistent then with the Capitol Theatre, looking at it from a more personal point of view. Therefore, the public can see it in a different light rather than, because I know you don't just take information from the press kits and say, all right, send it off, let's publish this.
No, these people are not easy to fool. They're quite sophisticated in Nelson. You'd be surprised. I think sometimes we put ourselves down about our sophistication. And I'm talking at child level as well.
Yes.
You know, child, teenagers, everything. It's a remarkably sophisticated town, and I can say that. I grew up in Montreal. I didn't have half the experiences that these children have.
Very much
and,
so.
And these adults are able to avail themselves of in every aspect of recreation.
Yeah.
And skills.
That's very important, though, it seems, for this community to have the children involved in arts at an early age.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's why these programs are available at the Capitol Theatre. The children's concert series, or kids concert series, is just excellent this year too.
Oh yes, and the Overture concert series is top of the line, best artists in
So
Canada.
when you think about it, there's I mean, there's a heck of a lot of events going on at the Capitol, and each and every one has to have specific production and presentation involved. That's a lot of time.
And the way things sell in this city, I can't say it enough, is word of mouth.
Yes.
You know,
so if you like something, tell people about it.
Or bring a friend, or be brave, take a risk, take a chance, see.
Yeah.
Be informed about your show before you go, though.
Great. Well, we always encourage new first-timers at the Capitol. Just come on down and give us a chance. And actually, for those of you who have never been before, it might be a wonderful opportunity tomorrow night for Lorne Elliot, because it's the kind of easygoing entertainment that you'll just go and laugh yourself silly.
Well, I've wanted to see comedy start in Nelson. We have no comedy club here. It's just beginning, actually, at the Heritage Inn. But I'm really glad to see them starting up with it, and this will just add to it. We don't have that tradition as they do in Vancouver now. It's been going on for 17 years in Vancouver. We've never done it.
And we have senses of humor here, by golly.
Yeah, we do. We're not all...
Okay, we're just about out of time here. Perhaps we can just give you that number again. It's 352-6363, or again, drop by and see us at the Capitol. We're friendly. And Margaret, thank you very much for being on the show. And while we go out here, we're going to see a bit of the Alberta Ballet, just to tantalize you. And again, that's October 27th. Disregard anything else you see. The Alberta Ballet will be here Sunday, October 27th. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.